Hey there guys, Jason DePaoli here from the Edge Strength and Conditioning, and welcome back to one of my videos here. Now this video is from my series of Sharpen Your Edges. This is an online course for ski fitness, for skiing obviously, snowboarding and also general fitness. Now I do an online program called Fresh Tracks for beginners and novices who've never been skiing, to get you ready for your holiday, because you really need to get yourself strong and get ready and fit for your holiday. Now I'm going to go into this a little bit more at the end, but what I want to do here is give you a bunch of hints and tips, because winter is just around the corner. It is November now, the new ski season is just a month or two away, and you might be thinking about going on holiday or booking up for your vacation. Now I want to give you sort of what I do, a breakdown of what I do before I go away. So what I'm doing now is getting out all my gear and checking everything. Now I do this a month or two before I go away, because it's very important to make sure all your equipment, like if you've got skis, boots, your clothing is in tip-top condition before we go away. Now a lot of us will go away on ski vacation or holiday, and then when they come home they just wash the kit or whatever and put all the stuff in the bag, put the skis in the shed or the garage, and just leave it over the next 6 to 8 months. Now this is okay, but the thing is, you really got to get your stuff out now. You don't want to get your gear out a week or two before you're going away on holiday, because something could have happened to your kit when you went on holiday last time, and you may have forgotten about it, and you're going to be scrambling around trying to find a new pair of salopettes, a new jumper, a new jacket, or a new pair of boots because it's cracked or something's happened to it. So I'm going to go over here with you now. I've taken all my stuff out of my bag, and I'm going to show you one or two things that you might assist you in your ski vacation. So first thing I'm going to go for is my ski gear, my jackets and my salopettes, my jumpers, my thermals, everything, on my ski socks as well, just to make sure everything's going to go through. I haven't got my bag here, so I'm going to take everything out. But check your socks, because sometimes your socks will have holes in it. If they do, mend them or get a pair of new ones, because you don't want to have cold feet and you don't want to have toes exposures in your boots, because if you go into a country where it's going to get cold, you don't want to have frostbite on your toes. So make sure your ski socks have got no frays, no holes, everything's fine. Now this is my ski jacket. I've had it for about 10 years. It's really good. It's going to last me a lot longer. What I want you to do is get your ski jacket out, check all the cuffs, check everything around. Now with this ski jacket, I've had it for a number of years. Last time I wore it, I did have a couple of holes. Now this one I've noticed has just come back, so you can see, hopefully you can see it in the thing, it's frayed. Now I've got to go and get that repaired, because if that water gets in that, it's going to damage the jacket. So when I went away, I'll show you, another hole did appear. Now I always take some duct tape, gaffer tape with me all the time. This is invaluable, because this is good for when you go where this happened halfway through the holiday. Put some on there, saved it. This I'm going to have to repair before I go away now. If I left this a week or two before my next vacation, I'll be scrambling around trying to find someone, a seamstress, to repair that. I'm going to do that next week, so it's all ready. Duct tape saved me for that week, because there's a hole put in here. So I recommend duct tape all the time, because it's good for like this, put on your boots, anything that you need to repair quickly. So a quick repair. Now this has been waterproofed, so once I get everything done, repaired, this jacket will service me for another good couple of years. This is a spider jacket. I love this jacket. You've probably seen it in a couple of my videos. I recommend these jackets. But let's say in 6 months, 8 months, who knows, you might put on a little bit of extra weight. You might find your salopettes a little bit more tighter. If there's a rip or tear in it, it's just gonna, if you do get into your ski ready stance, you don't want to hear a rip when you're on the slopes. You want to check it out, make sure everything is okay. So that's one thing I always recommend: check all your gear. The next thing is I get my boots out. I check all my boots. Now, hopefully, if you've got your own boots, you put them away. You make sure they're dry before you go away, because if you don't dry them out, they could smell, and you don't want to sort of be in your hotel putting on your boots in the ski lodge or in anywhere, and then all you do is this smells all the time. I get a little bag of baking powder, baking soda, put it in there for a couple of days. When I come back, make sure it draws out all the moisture. And what I do is, same with my clothing, I get some little Febreze sheets that you can put in a tumble dryer, so when you dry something off, when you take out the clothes, it makes everything smell really nice. So you can get these in a box of 20 or 50 here in the UK. I'm sure you can get it at other places around the world. I put 1 or 2 in there just to keep it fresh and smell, so when I take my boots out, check everything's alright. So when you do check your boots, check the buckles, making sure all the buckles work, click alright in place, making sure the Velcro is okay, making sure there's no damage, make sure there's no cracks or anything around there, because if there's any cracks, you don't want moisture getting in there, and then if the moisture gets in there and you go away and it goes cold, freezing, you don't want cold feet. Trust me, it's the worst thing. Also, check the bottom of your boots, because when you're walking around, these do sort of wear down quite a bit. You can replace them, but check your boots, that is most important. So apart from your ski jacket to keep you warm, boots are the next thing. The boots are the most vital thing when you go skiing. Next thing on the list is check your skis. Okay, this is more of my skis to the other one there. Now, if you've got your own skis, hopefully you have dried them off. When you go home, put them away in a cool place, so yeah, it's not in a garage where it gets really hot in the summer. Making sure you have wiped everything down. Now, they will go a little bit rusty. Now, you can go to a ski shop and get them waxed up. I wax up my own ski stuff and I sharpen them and wax them myself. I've got a little place at the back here that I do my skis, and I do a lot of friend skis for a little bit of extra cash, and I do make sure every ski is nice and sharpened. That's why I call sharpen my edges. Sharpen your edges, making sure they're nice and sharp. And I just go through all my skis, and I go through, if I can see there, that you can see all the bindings, making sure the bindings are nice and done. Now, I'm not a ski technician myself, I can wax skis, but when it comes to bindings, and if there's anything wrong with this and they're loose, I do recommend you go to a pro ski shop, even when you go on holiday or somewhere in the UK, just to check them out, check them with your boots. Make sure you take your boots with you, just to make sure everything is fine, because you don't want to go skiing and your bindings snap, and then you could have an accident, and you don't want that. You don't want to break out a leg or anything like that. So check your skis, making sure they're nice and done. Like I say, I wax them down myself, and I do a lot for friends, so that's a good thing. So do that before you go anywhere on holiday. You could sort of do them yourself and then do them a week before you go on holiday. Make sure the wax is nicely in. So the next thing I do after my boots and skis is check my ski helmet. My helmet, everyone now is it's not mandatory that you wear them, but it's good to wear helmets, because I've had a few accidents in the past, and I'm glad that I've had my helmet. This is a brand new one, so this should be fine. I did have one slight wipeout last season, but it was in fresh snow, there was no rocks, and there was no ice about. But if you fall down and it's icy, you know, this is invaluable. Now, check everything, making sure there's no cracks anywhere. If you have a crack in the helmet, you must replace it, because if you go away with a crack in the helmet and you have another accident, it could be fatal, or you could hurt yourself. So check the helmet, check the inside, check the straps as well, making sure everything goes together properly, making sure there's no frays anywhere, making sure it fits okay. The helmet is invaluable when you ski holiday nowadays. So the next thing after the ski after my helmet, just make sure you have goggles. Now, these goggles here fit my ski helmet perfectly. These are the work ones, that's the work helmet. Check your goggles, making sure the strap's okay, making sure the foam is okay, because I've had goggles in the past and I've put them away, and then the foam is starting to perish because they were a little bit old. They've been in cold, minus 10, 15, into warm, and then after a while this foam can perish. Check your lenses as well, making sure they're not cracked. These lenses here are good because I can flip them out, like I said, you see here, flip them out, and I can interchange these lenses. Okay, and these fit perfectly with my helmet, so I always check that out, make sure this right. I've always got spare lenses. A lot of goggles nowadays, I think, do come with spare lenses. You can pop them out, but it's not essential. If you lose a pair of goggles, I know people have lost goggles on the slope. You can go to a ski shop in the resort and buy a new pair of goggles. They've got loads of them there. So the next thing I do is check all my camera gear. Now, if you've seen other videos of me skiing, I do a lot of 360 cams. I've got a couple of GoPros. Check, make sure these work okay. Now mine work okay because I use them all the time, but if you go away ski on a ski vacation or holiday, you might only use this once or twice. Make sure the battery is charged, and if it is charged, making sure it doesn't run down quickly, making sure your SD card is okay, making sure everything is okay, because if you put it onto your helmet, make sure the attachments are not broken. If they are, replace it. Just check this, because I've gone away before and one of my GoPros messed up and I lost a lot of footage because it broke and I didn't check it out, and I didn't have any spare batteries, and I lost a lot of footage and a lot of days because I didn't check that out. Nowadays I take I take about 4 or 5 cameras with me now, and fortunately they're getting smaller, but I always take a spare, making sure everything's alright. So there we go. So one other thing I want to go through, and I take this, I'm gonna start taking this. This is the Equine Bantam. This is a massage gun. Now, I've had other ones you might have seen on my videos. I have massage guns. I had a Theragun, which is quite big and quite bulky and quite heavy. Now, I took that away once, but I couldn't take it again because it was madness trying to get it into my backpack and my bag. But this one here is nice and small. I hope you can see it. This, I'm telling you, after skiing and you get back, this is great if you've got sore muscles in your back, your glutes, your hamstrings. You're going to get it in, and I do it all over my feet and everything because I've got flat feet and my arches are falling, and it's really good. So I just put this on. It's on low. This is really good. You can do on your neck and anywhere you got aches and pains. This is a really good one to do. It's only about a kilo, maybe a little bit less. Nice and light. Comes with 4 attachments. Comes with this little bag, like I showed you. You can easily put it onto USB, so you don't have to take bulky sort of plugs for this. You don't have to. This is not a necessary thing, but I'm going to take this away with me all the time because, you know, I'm getting older. We're all getting older. We get aches and pains. This is really good. I do this, and then I'll go down to the steam room or sauna, because most hotels now do it, or if they've got a pool, even better, and then do that. It gives you a bit of a cool down afterwards, and it's really good. So there we go. This I've gone through it all, I think. Yep. So check your clothing. Check your boots first of all, check your skis, make sure the wax down, making sure they're ready for the next holiday. Check your ski helmet, that's a really vital one. Another thing I forgot is check your ski gloves, because you just don't know, making sure they're dry. If you've packed them away, they're obviously going to be dry after 8 months, but make sure there's nothing perishable, there's nothing, no seams broken on that. If there is, get a new pair of gloves. That's great. So, you know, just make sure everything is ready for your ski holiday. Obviously, I don't have no kids, but if you're going away in a family, make sure your kids, if you know, their ski stuff fits, because if you go away in sort of like February, March, and you're going away a year later, there's a good chance your kids have grown up quite a bit. It depends on their age, so you're going to have to check, maybe most probably buy a new pair of salopettes, new pair, or a new jacket, a new everything. There is shops that will do second-hand stuff, but you just make sure with your kids, make sure everything is nice and for them. If it's too tight, too small, then obviously sell it, buy a new pair for them. So make sure that's all right. But that is a no-brainer really. But most people, you'd be surprised that I hear people going away and they forgot their kids of their jackets too small. Like I say, 2 weeks, a week before they go away, they're scrambling around trying to find a jacket to fit them. By that February, March, all the ski stuff is almost gone because all the stuff comes out in November and everything's been sold by then, and you might get a few bits and pieces, but it could be sold. So there we go. So check all your gear. There's a few hints and tips. Just check all your gear and pack everything away, and then a couple of weeks before, get everything out again, check everything in, make sure everything's nice and clean so you're ready. And there is just one other thing that I want you to think about before you go away skiing. So it's November now. Your ski fitness, this is why I'm doing these ski videos, is to make sure you're ski fit and ski strong. It is imperative when you go away skiing. If you're an intermediate and advanced, you should know this. You're going to be a little bit better for this. But if you're a novice and beginner, never been away skiing or snowboarding, it's going to be a bit of a shock to the system if you don't go away on, especially in the UK, dry slopes, just to check, making sure you can like stand up on a pair of skis. But you've got to think that when you're skiing, you're working muscles that you don't normally work during the rest of the year. Trust me, I've talked to lots of people and their legs ache, their thighs ache, their hamstrings, everything aches because they didn't think, they thought they were fit enough, but when they went skiing for the first day, they were using muscles they're not used to. This is what my program is, Sharpen Your Edges, my Fresh Tracks program, is going to help you. I've got a list of brilliant exercises that will help you get ready for your ski season. You want to start roughly about now, November. If you're going away in January, March, gives you a couple of months, you need about 6 to 8 weeks. Get into the gym. Like I say, I've got an online program that you can do at home, or you can go to the gym with my program. It will get you ready, it will get you strong for the ski season. It's I'll recommend it. Of course I do, because I made it. But it's really good for general fitness throughout the year, because it will carry on to other things like golf and anything like that. If you can't do that, you can go out and do a lot of walking, try swimming, rollerblading, anything like that. Anything to get your cardiovascular system up working, get your legs working, anything that before you go away. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, thank you very much for listening to my video here. I'm sort of blabbered on a little bit much, but it needs to be said. You need to get everything ready now for the ski season that is coming up in the next couple of weeks. If you get everything ready now, you'll be fine, and you're going to enjoy your ski holiday, ski vacation all the more, because you don't have to worry about anything else. So there you go. So thank you for that. Please like and share. Please hit me up on Instagram as well. I've got my own profile, Sharpen Your Edges Fit to Ski as well, but it's the same thing. I put a lot of information on there. I'm going to do a lot more videos shortly to do with ski tips, drills that you can do on the slope, some skills and stuff like that, and I'm going to go through a little more and more bits and pieces about to help you get ski strong for your ski vacation. There we go. So I'm Jason Topali. Thank you for listening and watching, and I shall see you on another video coming real soon.